From 2015 to 2019, he was the offensive coordinator for the Missouri State Bears under head coach Dave Steckel. He's now in his second year as tight ends coach for the Seattle Seahawks. My guest is Mack Brown, who is currently preparing for the Super Bowl. No big deal, coming up on Sunday against the Patriots. And he's nice enough to take some time out to talk to us here at KY3. Coach, congratulations on making it to the big day, and thank you so much for being with us here.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm sure you've had just an incredibly crazy day today and last couple weeks. Can you talk about what today was like and what the last week has been like here for you?
Yeah, it's been incredible. Obviously, we played a week and a half ago in the NFC Championship game, and we're able to beat the Rams, and we were at home and immediately came into work on Monday and started preparing for the Super Bowl and put in a great week of work in Seattle, and then flew down here to San Francisco this past weekend, and I've just continued the preparation. So today we've just been going back over our game plan and making sure we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's.
What is a typical day like for an NFL coach like yourself? I mean, I'm sure it's no different right now. I assume, I don't want to assume anything, I guess, about what Super Bowl week would be like. But, what time you go to work, what time do you finally get done with all this?
Yeah, no doubt. We tried to keep Super Bowl week as much the same for our players as we possibly can to keep them in the same routine. But as far as showing up to work, I leave the house right about 5 a.m. every morning, and I got a pretty jam-packed day, and usually get home somewhere between 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. at night and go to sleep and do it again. And, in between that is meeting with coaches, meeting with players. You practice, you game plan, you review practice, you game plan a new area. You just stay busy.
Coach, and this is your second year with head coach Mike McDonald, and before that, between your time at Missouri State and here, you were with the New York Jets, and I know that can probably be in the NFL. I'm sure you're in the NFL. Wins and losses are a type of thing you got to live with it. But obviously, it must feel extra refreshing having been with a team that was kind of rebuilding, the Jets, while you were there, and to now. To be in the biggest stage that you can possibly be on.
Yeah, it was incredible. New York was great to me, and really enjoyed my time there. And, went through an organization that was rebuilding, and had the opportunity to be around a lot of great coaches and a lot of great players. And as we talked before this, spent the year with Aaron Rodgers, which was incredible. But, getting the opportunity to become a Seattle Seahawk was, a once-in-a-lifetime type of opportunity. And, man, I'm lucky to be here.
And I want to talk to you about your time here at Missouri State. Obviously, you met your wife Amanda here. She is an Ava grad. She is from Springfield, born and raised. Tell us how you met.
Yeah, so met Amanda out at dinner one night. We were downtown, and just came across her and said hello. And glad that I did say hello, but. I was able to meet her there and, spend a couple of years there with her before we moved to New York City.
Wow, we love that, Coach. And by the way, I'm curious. I'm just realizing now, are you in a conference room at the hotel maybe?
Yeah, I'm in our meeting room. Yeah.
So right behind you, no big deal, but that's just where NFL meetings happen for the Super Bowl, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's so cool. And you're a Kansas City native yourself, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up in Kansas City. I grew up on both sides of the state line. So I grew up in Liberty, went to elementary and middle school there, and went to high school at Shawnee Mission North, and played for my father at Shawnee Mission North. And from there, went to the University of Colorado, spent a year at Colorado, and then came back to Baker University. So I spent a ton of time in the area.
That's great. No doubt grew up a Chiefs fan, I'm guessing, when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Grew up during the Marty Ball era and playing good football. And then transitioned to a time when we weren't playing as good at football, but for the most part, it's been great.
Can you tell me maybe some things that you might have learned as an assistant in your time at Missouri State here in Springfield that you still draw on today as you prepare for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, no doubt. Being at Missouri State was a great opportunity for me. I was young in my career, and Dave Steckel brought me with him from Mizzou when he came down, and it really just kind of gave me the opportunity to advance my career. And I was a graduate assistant at the University of Missouri, and was coaching the position at Missouri State and the offensive coordinator. I mean, obviously, when you're in that chair, you got to be as prepared as you can be as organized as you can be, and it teaches you how to present the information you want to present. It teaches you what you believe in, what you don't believe in, from a schematic standpoint, and it allows you to manage people. And then obviously getting out on the road and recruiting. I mean, you're sitting in kids' homes and you're talking to their parents, and you're giving them promises of how you're going to take care of the kids, and then you got to go fulfill the promises. So there's a lot of learning that happened at Missouri State, and very, very grateful for my opportunity there.
Yeah, Coach, and your team is so unique in that they really seem to pride themselves on running the football, and top 5, top 10 in several rushing categories. Can you talk about what your tight ends, as that's the position coach group that you coach, would you talk about what they take pride in as they prepare for the biggest game here?
Yeah, no doubt. Everything that we're doing, we're trying to just keep it as similar as we possibly can. But it started from April when they came back, and it's just a mentality you have to play with, and it's something that's built, throughout our entire organization, throughout our team. And I think when you turn the tape on or you watch us on TV, you'll feel the physicality of our offensive line and our tight ends and our running backs, and the way our wide receivers block. And whenever we run the ball like we have been the past couple of weeks, it sets up everything. You're able to find some play action passes and a couple of bootlegs or keepers, as we call them. And we feel like we really got to establish a run to play with the style that we want to play with.
Yeah, no doubt your group has been a big part of the reason why the team has been successful, plowing the way for, it seems like, whoever the running back is. Jacardier Wright, for example, came from Missouri State, and then did you guys, and he's been on the roster, he's also been on the practice squad with the Seahawks. Did you make that connection right away that you guys had the Missouri State thing in common, or did it take a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever the new guys come in, you always check out what college they went to, and like I said, I met Amanda when I was in Springfield and really enjoyed my time at Missouri State. And so once I saw Missouri State pop up, I had to go seek him out, and I know he had a great experience down there as well. And we shared, different kind of restaurants we enjoyed going to, and how awesome Springfield is, and how awesome the community is, and how great it is to be a Missouri State Bear.
Has there been a pinch me moment for you through all this where you realize, oh my goodness, like this is what you've been coaching for your whole life? Have you felt something like that yet, or do you think it'll happen later?
Yeah, we have the best fans in the world in Seattle. Lumen Field is an experience unlike anything else. And after we were able to win the NFC Championship game, the confetti coming down, and stadium full, and place going crazy, and Amanda and Reed, Reed's my son, being on the field. And there's definitely a moment of, wow, this is really happening. But as far as the moment of believing or seeing that we're in the Super Bowl, I don't think that's happened yet, and probably won't happen until we hit the field.
All right, Coach. I think something that's just so exciting is when we get to hear how some of the people who maybe have helped you get here along the way. And you talk about Amanda and anyone really. Who would you give the credit to that has helped you get this far?
Oh, sure. You hate naming people who you've been around because you're always going to forget somebody, but I got to give a ton of credit to my parents. My dad's a longtime high school football coach in Kansas City, and they provided a ton of support for me along the way when I was a graduate assistant. I'm making a bunch of money at the University of Missouri, and he shared a ton of experience with me, and obviously my mom provided a ton of support. And then, as Amanda came into my life, she's been a huge piece of us making this jump, and she allows me to do this. And like we talked earlier, I'm not home a ton, especially during the year, and we have 2 kids, and she's raising both of them. And then I've been around great coaches. Like I said, I hate to name them all, but Gary Pinkel at the University of Missouri, Dave Steckel was great to me. Obviously Mike now here in Seattle, Robert Sala when I was in New York, and then just a host of a ton of assistant coaches. Mike LaFleur, who just got the Arizona job. Clint Kubiak now, who's our offensive coordinator now. I'm blessed to be around the people I've been around.
Coach, those are some names. That's amazing. Um,
Yeah,
I guess from afar, you've probably seen too how Missouri State has grown since you've been here.
yeah,
Now in Conference USA, FBS, they're now the type of school that even bigger programs are poaching the head coach, which we just lost
yeah.
Ryan Beard,
It's great.
but also great coaches from other great programs, getting the SMU offensive coordinator Casey Woods to come over.
Yeah.
And obviously, they're no stranger to big names like Coach Steckel, like Coach Petrino. But have you been able to kind of pay attention? I know you're super busy being a Seahawks coach here, but from a distance, have you got what are your thoughts on Missouri State?
Yeah, I think he's great. I mean, I love living in Springfield. I mean, I think that community can support an FBS program, and I mean, I think anytime we brought a kid on campus, I mean, the parents loved it, the kid loved it. I mean, all the potential in the world's there, and they played good football recently, and I mean, the sky's the limit for them. You see what some non-Power 5 schools have done recently, and I mean, that's at some point in time that could be Missouri State.
So I assume, well, again, I don't want to assume anything about Super Bowl week. Amanda's
Yeah.
up there with you, I would guess, or what is it like with your family up there with you? How do you balance everything?
Yeah, they all come in on Friday, and our organization's done that pretty intentionally. And just so Friday night is kind of the hay's never in the barn, but that's kind of whenever the game plan is pretty much done, and you're going back through the details. But they come in on Friday. My parents come in on Friday. Her parents come in on Friday. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's whenever you're in this profession, you just love sharing these kinds of moments with the people you love, and we can't wait to get everybody out here.
I guess I should ask you too about the game itself. I mean, what is the biggest
Yeah.
challenge that you think the Patriots present for you guys in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. New England's a great team. They've been a great team all year, and schematically, they're one of the best schemes in the league when it comes from a defensive perspective. They align all over the place. They do a lot of good things to try to communicate with you and cause miscommunication from that standpoint. But they got really good players. They got a couple of good corners. They got really good defensive ends, a couple good linebackers. When there's two teams left playing football, you're going to have two really good teams, and that's what we're going to have on Sunday.
It just hit me talking to you. I'm trying to remember the timeline for Sam Darnold. Did you were you with the Jets while he was still there? Had he moved on yet?
Yeah, he was there 1 year with me, and I was actually on the defensive side of the ball. So when I left Missouri State, I was a defensive quality control in New York. And obviously you have crossover with everybody, but I didn't have a ton of interaction with Sam, but the interaction I had was incredible. I mean, he's one of a kind and authentic human being, and deserves all the success he's had this year and last year.
For someone like him, who's now on his fifth team in such a young career, but every interview you see from a distance, obviously, he just looks like such an incredible, humble guy that people really want to run through a wall for. Is that a fair assessment? Like, is that how you would describe it? What's he like?
Oh, absolutely. Everything you see on TV with Sam is who Sam is day in and day out. I mean, he's very authentic. Every single day you're going to get the same Sam Darnold, and our locker room loves him. Our coaches love him. It's one of those things. We hit the jackpot when we got Sam, man, and we're truly lucky to have him.
Coach, thank you so much for taking 15 minutes with us here, and I know that those are precious moments in the fact that you would share it with us here in the Ozarks. That means a lot to me and our viewers, and really appreciate you. And good luck on Sunday. Enjoy the moment as much as you can with all the work I know you've got in front of you, and thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Like I said, we love the Ozarks, and my wife and I come back every summer and spend a bunch of time there, and man, it's a great place to be.
Well, hopefully we can catch up with you again sometime after the big game.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate
All right, thanks, Coach. Best of luck. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.